Former President Donald Trump is now president-elect.
He won the election by decisively beating Vice President Kamala Harris. KTLA 5's Eric Spillman live in our newsroom with the latest details. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Chris. Morning, Megan. This was supposed to be the nail-biter election that might take days or weeks to decide. That did not turn out to be the case. Not at all. Donald Trump has either won or is leading in all 7 swing states. He will become the 47th president of the United States. Let me show you the map and the tally of Electoral College votes. Trump won Georgia, North Carolina, and the crucial states of Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. He's ahead in Michigan, so it's likely he will end up winning all of the so-called blue wall states that the Democrats and Kamala Harris were counting on. Trump is pretty far ahead in the vote counts in Nevada and Arizona as well. At this point, he has 277 electoral votes. Harris has 224. You need 270 to win. Trump is also leading the nationwide popular vote by about 5 million votes. Last night, even before the networks projected he would win, Trump walked out onto the stage at his election night party in West Palm Beach, Florida, along with his wife and family. He thanked the American people and called the election a historic realignment of American interests. He will become the first president in 120 years to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, and at age 78, he is the oldest person elected president.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond.
It was an amazing comeback for a politician that just 4 years ago seemed to have no chance of ever winning again. He left office in 2020 after having been impeached twice. He refused to accept that he had lost that election. He was indicted on federal election interference charges and was convicted in May on 34 felony counts of fabricating records in the hush money trial in New York City. He survived 2 assassination attempts. Well, how did he win? Exit polling shows that he got strong support from rural and working class voters, especially men. He improved on his performance from 2020 in both red and blue states.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
The exit polls from yesterday indicate that Kamala Harris was not able to put together the same diverse coalition of voters that elected Joe Biden in 2020. She was also weighed down by negative views of the economy under the Biden administration. At her election watch party at Howard University in Washington, D.C., the crowd grew silent and began to thin out as the results came in. And then her campaign chair told the crowd that Harris would not be coming out to make a speech.
We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the Vice President tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow.
We don't have an exact time on when Kamala Harris might speak. It'll be sometime today. Donald Trump will take office as president in a stronger position compared to when he was sworn in 8 years ago. On January 20th, it's possible that Republicans will control all the branches of government, and in Congress, Trump has very few remaining Republican critics. We'll send it back to you.